All right, guys. So we are back. It is Tuesday night. We're staying on track. We're putting up content. Um, I'm learning as I go, teaching you guys how as I go. Um, and yeah, I'm not 100% sure where exactly I'm going with this page, but I'm gonna keep producing content and giving value. I think when I give value, people can relate to that. People can build off that. And as I go, I'm figuring it out as I go. Um, because what I'm building, I know it's going to be great. Not sure exactly what the end result will be. Still figuring it out. I know I want to help people, and that's the goal. So I just started reading Atomic Habits again. So I'm going to talk about the main thing is why isn't everyone successful? Um, because you see everyone being successful, and I think it's easy for people to be like, oh, like they just got it like that. Like it just kind of happened. They came from rich families, they came from this, they came from that. And for a while, like how I grew up, I had all these nice things. I had the nicest hockey equipment, I had a nice house, I had all these things. And it's easy to just think in your mind that when I grow up, I'm going to have all these nice things. I'm going to have a nice house. I'm going to have a nice car. And you never really think, how am I going to get it? You think it's just going to happen. And that's not the case. Like, yes, my family's very supportive. They've always had my back. Um, I've never really struggled until my addiction hit in. And, I was spending financials like crazy. I was going downhill fast. I went to zero. But I never really hit that bottom because I've always had everything. And that's my standpoint. I know some people come from nothing, never had, they've always had the not nice things, had the hand me down hockey equipment, hand me down clothes, things like that. So, from my understanding, like I always thought it was expected. Like, I'm going to have a big ass house, I'm going to have the nicest car. And there was a study, I think it's like over 50% of high school students graduate after they graduate, you know, they plan to be millionaires. They plan to have all this money. They plan to be successful. But no one really thinks how. Like, it takes fucking work. Like, making $200,000, $300,000 a year doesn't come out of your ass. You have to put in work. And I'm not at that point yet. I do have a stable job. I have a great job. I put in the work to become an electrical engineer. But I'm not where I want to be. Like, making, like, even for example, $100,000 a year, which is like double national salary. $100,000 a year can support you, but it is bare minimum. Like, things are expensive. Like, I don't even have kids yet, and I like nice things. So, financially stable, like, you have to be making money to have the nice house, to have the car, to pay to have nice things for your kids. It just doesn't come out of your ass. And the last year or so, I really realized that if I want these things, I have to work. Like, I have to wake up each day and better myself. I have to wake up each day and do something that is going to lead me to where I want to be, lead me to be financially independent, lead me to be able to take care of my wife, my kids one day. I want to be able to, like, my wife doesn't have to work, but she can work. Like, I want to be that successful. Um, and I want a partner that will build me up and work with me. But that's not going to happen until I start taking control of my life and doing the things I need to do. And I'm reading Atomic Habits right now. And habits is what makes people successful. They are the building blocks of what makes people successful. And for an example, there was a British cycling team. They were doing horrible in the Olympics, sucking. They weren't winning to the point where the number one bicycle manufacturer in Europe didn't even want to sell them bikes because it was bad for their brand. And they hired a whole new team and they took a different approach. How are we going to get better? They started making these minor changes, whether it was new massaging equipment for your legs so you recover quicker. They tweaked the bike seat to make it more comfortable. They rubbed alcohol on the tires to give it better traction. They did all these minuscule changes, and they ended up winning like 60% of the medals that next year after they did all those changes. And those aren't habits, they're changes. But it shows you minor improvements in a wide stretch, like in a wide area, will make you overall successful. They did all these minor changes that, you think rubbing alcohol on a tire, like, what's that going to do? But if it can get you 1% better, 1% closer, and then you combine all those 1% things, it can make a change. And I thought that was a really cool example because it kind of puts it in perspective to your life. So for me, 9 months ago, horrible low point. Where do I start? Like, I'm down bad. Like, I had to go to rehab. I didn't want to go to rehab. I had a job to take care of. Like, I didn't want to go whatsoever. I didn't want to go get help. So I didn't want to go. And I'm like, how do I get myself out of this situation? First step, going to take time to reflect on myself. And 2, believing in myself, trusting myself, and knowing that I can be who I want to be. And I got to the point where I'm at right now, where I feel like I'm successful and I'm on the right direction of being successful because of small habits. And when you break it down into taking care of the things that you need to each day rather than where you want to be, don't think of like, I need to have everything in 2 months, because that's a big task and you're going to put stress on yourself. It's going to be negative towards you because you're feeling like you're not good enough. You're stressed. It's not good for you. But if you wake up each day and have a set of habits, have a set of routines that you need to do to become better. For example, this last month, I started incorporating cold showers. Small thing, like, oh, you're a badass, cool, man. But for that example, I wake up in the morning, I do something hard. I feel good about myself. I raise my dopamine level. It's proven to raise your dopamine level by 200 to 300%. And it was hard the first week. Like, I'm warm. I wake up, I'm all warm. I want to put something warm on. I want to take a warm shower. I wake up, I look in the mirror, I'm like, you're a badass motherfucker. And I get in the shower, take a cold shower, I get out, I did the first hard thing of the day. And it's a small thing, like, oh, you're cool, you take a cold shower. But I've been doing it every day. I do one in the morning and I do one at night. And I feel like I think more clear throughout the day. I have more energy. And it just gives me that little boost in the morning that builds me up. So that's a small habit. That's a small habit that can improve. Like, you wouldn't think that's a huge thing. But another one, I work out every day. That's a good habit. I eat clean most of the days. Everyone cheats. Everyone has their cheat meals. But when you do these small things, you don't always see instant results. And why people struggle to be successful is it's human nature to do something and get a reward, because that's how it is nowadays. You go on your phone, you scroll on TikTok, you get instant satisfaction. Like, oh, like, it distracts you, it gives you enjoyment. Um, you go on your phone, you watch porn, like that's easy. You get that quick satisfaction. Um, Rather than go out, talk to women, put in the work, because it's just easier. You eat healthy one day, but you don't instantly see that pound loss. You work out one day, but you're not instantly jacked. You, um, you stop drinking for one day, but you don't instantly feel better. So, as humans, we want to see an action and an instant reward, but it's not always like that. It's become such a common thing in our society because we're all about that quick reward system. But with habits, it's a slow, steady thing until you break through. Instead of having that reward to action thing where it's a straight line, it's more of an exponential. Slowly habits build up and then break through. You break through that cusp. And the people who are successful are the ones that stick with it long enough to break through. Because for this right now, I'm enjoying helping people. I'm building a page. I'm not sure where it's going, but I'm building it and I'm showing up each day. I have a goal for myself. I want to post 3 TikToks, 3 Instagram Reels, 3 YouTube Shorts, post a YouTube video every other day. These are small habits that I need to do to get to where I want to go. This might not take off for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, but I'm passionate enough about it where I'm going to show up each day and do it until, it might be slow, it might be slow, it might be slow until it takes. And that's where people become successful, because successful people struggle for a long time. Like Elon Musk, his first 3 rocket attempts that cost millions and millions of dollars, 50 to 100 million dollars, blew up. They didn't launch. He was down bad. He got a loan from his girlfriend's parents to build his 4th rocket launch until it finally succeeded. Like, imagine being $50 million in debt doing that. And that's one large example, but he truly believes he is saving humanity. Like, he's in it for the long run. He never gave up. And he had so much more struggle before that. I read one of his books, but that's just one example. Like, you truly need to dedicate yourself and do small habits. And that was a big example. But whether it be you want someone in your life, you want a hot girl, you want someone who matches what you desire, that's not just going to pop out of nowhere. Like, if you want to meet a girl that is very pretty, maybe out of your league, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to start doing small habits that might get you there? Like, brush your teeth, make sure your teeth are looking good, get a haircut, smell good, wear nice clothes. That's another example. Like, just do small habits that improve yourself. Be more successful. Like, do successful things. Go to the gym. Go to places where you might find a successful woman. Small changes build into a big change, because you will slowly become the person that you want to be without even realizing it. But you have to use those as building blocks to become the person you want to be. And you can't really think about it in the long run, because that's a lot. Like me with my sobriety, me being sober the rest of my life, that is a long, that's a hard thing to comprehend. Like, oh my God, I can never drink again my whole life. Like, whoa, I can never do drugs again my whole life. That's a task. But when you do it day by day, I wake up in the morning, I write down what I'm grateful for, and usually the first thing I write down is my sobriety, because I have control of my life. I feel healthy. I have a good relationship with my family. I am surrounded by good people. And when I was doing drugs, like, it was bad. Like, I'm hitting the plug up at 7 a.m. at the gas station as soon as I get it parked in a Target parking lot. Like, that is a bad place to be in. And, I was hiding it. I'm doing it at Target so my roommates don't hear me. Like, I remember I never want to be there again. So, being grateful and doing habits will lead you to success. But that is the main point that I'm trying to get at. People aren't successful because they can't make it to that cusp where they break through. You do your diet for a month. You maybe lose 2-3 pounds, but you want to lose 20. So you get down on yourself. Oh fuck! Like, I'm not losing weight super fast. Like, I'm not to where I want to be. Stick with it. It's not always an instant reward. The long term reward. And once you can break through that and understand that, because you know I I keep relating it to this, but like building my business. I've never built a business before, but I'm doing things that are going to lead me to success. Like, I built a school community. It's not complete. I have a lot of things done with it, but I'm slowly building it and doing new things each day. Like, how can I improve it? How can I improve it? And I know if I post valuable content every day, it's going to help me, whether it helps me get better by learning more, because I do research before some of the videos. I'm learning more. I'm getting better at talking on camera. Like, this is something I never would have done 9 months ago. I was tucked in my shell, embarrassed of who I was. But now I feel pretty confident talking on camera, and I feel confident with myself. So each day I'm doing little things that improve my life. And I could look back on myself a month ago and say, wow, I'm proud. Like, I've done a lot since then. You want to write a book, do one page at a time. It's better than nothing. So those 1% things, if you get better 1%, like 1% better each day of the year, I think it's like you get 37% better. But if you get 1% worse each day, it's like, you know, it's the same thing. If you get 1% worse each day, um, you'll notice. If you like drinking every day, if you're doing drugs every day, you're gonna notice a decline, and negative things will surround you. You're not in the right place. You're not hanging around the right people. But all in all, is if you want to be successful, start doing small habits that improve your life, and you will notice a difference. Don't give up on yourself. Stick with it. But if you guys have been enjoying these videos, please subscribe. It means a lot. Um, I'm gonna keep getting realer and realer on here, give you guys content. Um, if you're not agreeing with anything I say, please let me know. Like, I'm down to have a conversation about it. See your point of view. Um, I'm always down to learn. If there's something that you're struggling with that you want me to talk about, or you want to talk to me privately about, reach out. Um, I'm trying to build trust, because if you come to me with some shit you got to get off your chest, that's between us. Like, I'm not telling anybody. I'll tell you some deep shit. You tell me some deep shit. Like, that's what I'm here for, because just know you're not alone. Know you can get through it. And I want everyone to be successful. If you really want to change your life, message me. That's what I'm building. I've got a community of some sober people, some non-sober people, but we all have a common goal that we want to get better. We want to improve ourselves, whether it be health-wise, fitness-wise, mental toughness, like kind of what I'm talking about. I have a set of habits that got me to where I'm at today, that got me out of that horrible situation I was in where I thought there was no way out. And anybody can do it, regardless of where you are, where you're from, who you are. You can do it. So appreciate all the love. Peace out, guys.